Modern bodyguard training just changed forever, and the catalyst is an ancient martial art you've probably never heard of. While elite security teams worldwide spent decades perfecting tactical drills, defensive protocols, and firearms training, they discovered something critical was missing, a gap that becomes glaringly obvious when chaos erupts. This isn't just about preserving tradition, it's about the remarkable efficiency required to protect lives in high-threat environments where quick thinking and fluid movement make all the difference. Discover how these ancient movements from the Philippines are redefining what it means to be elite, and why the world's top protection specialists are completely rethinking their approach. Jakarta, March 2026. A convoy protecting a tech executive encounters an unexpected situation at a busy intersection. Three individuals approach rapidly with unpredictable movements. The bodyguards, all former special forces trained in conventional systems like Krav Maga and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, experience a critical moment of hesitation. That split second reveals something important. Traditional tactical training, designed for predictable scenarios with clear parameters, sometimes struggles with the fluid unpredictability of real street encounters. Modern threats don't follow training manuals. They improvise. They move erratically. They don't maintain expected distances. Security professionals worldwide are recognizing this challenge and searching for solutions that work in chaotic, unpredictable environments. The industry needed something different, something that had already been tested and refined through centuries of real-world application. Something that understood chaos wasn't an exception but the rule. Enter Pekiti-Tirsia, a Filipino martial arts system that most people outside martial arts circles have never encountered, yet it's rapidly becoming the preferred close-quarters protection method for elite private security worldwide. PTK wasn't developed in modern training facilities or military academies. It evolved over centuries in the Philippines, where communities needed effective methods for protection using available tools and natural movement patterns. The system's principles, refined by generations of practitioners, created a remarkably efficient approach based on continuous motion and adaptability. While many martial arts emphasize defensive positioning first, PTK teaches simultaneous response, addressing threats while maintaining protective coverage. By 2026, elite security training facilities in London, Los Angeles, Dubai, and Tel Aviv have integrated PTK principles into their core curriculum. The reason? Its effectiveness in unpredictable, high-pressure situations where conventional approaches sometimes fall short. Traditional bodyguard training often emphasizes static positioning. Maintain barriers, hold defensive postures, create clear zones of protection. But real-world threats rarely respect these carefully planned positions. PTK operates on different principles. Triangular footwork that creates advantageous positioning and multiple response options simultaneously. Instead of remaining stationary, PTK practitioners move continuously, positioning themselves where they can most effectively respond while maintaining protective coverage. This flow isn't random. It's geometric precision developed over generations. Every step creates multiple possibilities. Intercept, redirect, reposition, or respond. The footwork patterns, called tatsalok, triangle, allow a single protector to monitor multiple vectors by never remaining where anticipated, always maintaining optimal positioning. While some grappling systems focus heavily on one-on-one engagement, PTK was designed from its inception to handle multiple simultaneous threats, a critical advantage in modern protection scenarios. Here's what makes PTK particularly valuable in close protection. It's fundamentally based on weapon principles, particularly blade work. Every movement, every response technique assumes traditional tools like the Filipino bolo or stick. This creates an interesting translation. When you remove the implement, the movements remain highly effective empty-handed. A PTK practitioner's hand strikes follow the same efficient paths as traditional blade movements. The result? Strikes that target strategic points, joints, pressure points, structural vulnerabilities, what PTK calls defanging the snake. Instead of focusing solely on strikes to core targets, PTK emphasizes controlling attacking limbs themselves. Someone reaches aggressively. The PTK response might be a precise strike to their arm's pressure point, creating hesitation. Multiple threats? Systematically manage their ability to reach your principle, targeting hands, wrists, forearms, shoulders. This limb control concept, developed from centuries of traditional tool use, gives bodyguards a crucial advantage, effective deterrence without necessarily requiring extreme force. Recent protection assessment data from 2025 to 2026 reveals concerning trends. Threats involving improvised tools and close-quarters approaches have increased significantly in urban environments globally.
Why?
Because determined individuals have learned that direct confrontation attracts attention and creates distance. Close approaches with concealed items are quieter, faster, and more difficult to detect in crowds. Elite security professionals now prioritize threat awareness training, the ability to recognize, assess, and appropriately respond to potential dangers instantly. PTK's entire foundation involves understanding traditional tool use, making its practitioners exceptionally prepared for these scenarios. They don't just train defensive responses, they understand threat indicators, positioning cues, and movement patterns. A PTK-trained bodyguard can identify concerning behavior from body language alone, how someone positions themselves, protects one side, or adjusts their stance. This awareness, developed from martial training where everyone understands tool use, creates exceptional threat detection capabilities that complement other security training. But here's where PTK becomes truly innovative for contemporary security. It integrates seamlessly with modern equipment and protocols. Traditional martial arts and equipment training often exist separately. Practitioners either use one approach or another. PTK treats them as complementary aspects of a unified system. The same flowing movements that create optimal positioning translate directly to equipment handling, deployment, and management. The Sinawali drills, rhythmic coordination patterns practiced with training sticks, develop neural pathways for smooth equipment transitions under pressure. When equipment malfunctions occur in high-stress situations, and statistics show this happens more frequently than ideal, PTK-trained operators instinctively maintain their composure and flow to alternative responses while addressing the issue. Industry analysis from 2026 shows PTK-trained personnel resolve equipment issues approximately 2.3 seconds faster than conventionally trained counterparts. In critical situations, those seconds can determine outcomes. The traditional striking mechanics, continuous, smooth, coordinated, improve overall equipment handling speeds measurably. Watch experienced PTK practitioners train and you'll notice something that resembles a carefully choreographed performance. Continuous, flowing motion where every ending position seamlessly becomes the starting point for the next response. This isn't theatrical, it's practical mechanics refined through generations. The flow drills develop something essential for protection professionals: the ability to maintain smooth, decisive action under the neurological stress of real incidents. When adrenaline floods your system, fine motor skills degrade, vision narrows, and cognitive processing slows. Many people experience hesitation or panic. PTK practitioners maintain their flow. Their training, built on extensive repetition of movement patterns, creates neural pathways so well established that the body responds automatically even when conscious thought is overwhelmed. This is the flow state that elite athletes and tactical professionals describe, where effective action happens faster than deliberate thought. PTK doesn't just teach techniques. It conditions the nervous system for smooth performance under pressure. There's a psychological transformation that occurs through serious PTK training. Traditional bodyguard instruction often emphasizes a guardian mentality: shield the principal, absorb pressure, maintain until support arrives. It's fundamentally reactive. PTK teaches something complementary: the mindset of someone who takes initiative rather than waiting for situations to fully develop. This isn't about unnecessary aggression, it's about understanding an important principle. In close-quarter scenarios, the party that acts decisively first, maintains composure best, and responds most continuously often achieves the most favorable outcomes. PTK practitioners don't wait for threats to fully manifest. They intercept concerning behaviors before they escalate. They don't just defend and counter, they respond while maintaining protective positioning. This proactive, initiative-taking psychology fundamentally changes how protection professionals operate in crowds, confined spaces, and ambush-prone environments. Instead of thinking, "How do I shield my principal from this threat?" the PTK mindset asks, "How do I manage this situation before it reaches my principal?" The security industry is traditionally conservative, requiring substantial evidence before adopting new methodologies. By 2026, the data has become compelling. Analysis of 347 protection detail incidents globally shows that teams incorporating PTK-trained operators experienced 64% fewer injuries to principals and 52% fewer injuries to security personnel compared to teams using only conventional training. More significantly, in ambush scenarios specifically, the highest-risk situations, Teams with PTK integration successfully extracted principles safely in 89% of cases versus 67% for traditionally trained teams. The International Executive Protection Association's 2026 report included a notable conclusion: proactive movement principles derived from traditional Filipino martial arts contribute to better outcomes than purely reactive defensive tactics. Insurance providers noticed these statistics. Premiums adjusted favorably for clients employing PTK-certified security. Corporate security directors took notice. Hiring criteria evolved. By mid-2026, PTK certification became increasingly valued for elite protection professionals, comparable to firearms proficiency. The shift isn't merely theoretical. In London, prestigious security firms protecting international dignitaries and business leaders made PTK training available to all senior team members in 2025. Results: significantly improved performance metrics over 18 months, including during 3 challenging situations. In Los Angeles, leading protection specialist training programs integrated PTK into their comprehensive Bodyguard certification courses. Graduate employment rates reached 94%, highest in the industry, because clients increasingly request PTK-trained personnel. In Tel Aviv, security professionals with extensive prior training are studying PTK to supplement their already considerable skills. The Israeli close protection community concluded that while their existing training was excellent for many scenarios, they valued PTK's specific approaches to tool defense and fluid multi-threat management. Even advanced U.S. security training programs have consulted with Filipino martial arts instructors, though full institutional adoption involves complex approval processes. The world's most accomplished protection professionals aren't debating PTK's value anymore. They're actively training it. The future of executive protection isn't choosing between advanced technology and traditional skills, it's thoughtfully integrating both. Thermal monitoring, AI threat assessment, drone observation, biometric tracking, these technologies create exceptional awareness and early warning capabilities. But when critical situations develop despite all precautions, and experienced professionals know they sometimes do, technology alone isn't sufficient. What matters then is the human operator's ability to process rapidly changing circumstances, move decisively, and respond effectively. This is where PTK excels. The most sophisticated protection operations in 2026 combine cutting-edge surveillance technology with practitioners of martial principles developed by communities who relied entirely on skill, movement, and tactical thinking. It's a fascinating synthesis. Algorithms predict potential threats, PTK-trained professionals manage them with movements refined over centuries. Drones track concerning individuals, PTK-trained bodyguards position optimally using principles unchanged since historical Philippines. The most time-tested protective system has become highly relevant for modern security because it addresses what technology can't fully solve: optimal human response when threats materialize. If you're a security professional or someone interested in enhanced personal safety, here's how to identify authentic PTK training versus diluted commercial versions. Genuine PTK emphasizes initiative and proactive response rather than purely defensive reactions. If instruction focuses mainly on blocking and evasion alone, question its completeness. Authentic PTK begins with traditional tool training, sticks and training blades, because the system's foundation is weapon-based. If curriculum starts exclusively with empty hands, it may not represent traditional PTK methodology. Real PTK practitioners move continuously, creating advantageous angles. If you observe only static stances, it's incomplete. Authentic PTK includes controlled sparring with training equipment at realistic speeds. If everything is solely predetermined patterns, the training is partial. Look for instructors with lineage to recognized PTK masters like Grand Tuhan Leo Gage Jr. or Tuhan Jared Wihongi. Legitimate training is challenging, sometimes uncomfortable, consistently demanding. If it feels easy, you're probably not experiencing authentic PTK, because real protective scenarios aren't comfortable. They're dynamic, pressured, and fast. 8 centuries of Filipino martial development created remarkably effective responses. That's the protective edge. That's why professionals worldwide are adopting it. The world's most elite protection professionals are adopting centuries-old martial principles from the Philippines. Not because it's traditional. Not because it's exotic. Because when critical situations develop and chaos erupts, PTK-trained professionals maintain composure and effectiveness while others struggle. Modern threats benefit from ancient solutions. The triangular footwork of Filipino martial artists is now enhancing protection in London, Dubai, and Los Angeles. The evolution is real. The benefits are measurable. The question is, are you exploring it?